Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is our newest episode of the RPG Limit Break podcast. My name is Netara, and I am going to be your host for this, what I think is a very special episode, with our lovely guests, caeshura and RPG
Hello.
Chick.
Oh, hi.
And we are going to be talking about the RPG Valkyries, who we are, kind of what we're doing, and most importantly, talking about our event, which is starting on Sunday. But
RPG Valkyries. Tell
right?
me more.
They're pretty cool. But first, we'll get into that. We have to talk about another event which is starting this Friday on this channel, RPG Limit Break. It is going to be Suikothon. That is running from October 27th to the 29th. So make sure to tune in. If you have multiple monitors, you can watch both events, but don't worry. Suikothon is the weekend, and I'm just going to keep hitting my mic. And then the Speedrun Ragnarok is afterwards. So you can get a little bit of both. But if you like Suikoden, definitely make sure to tune in. The schedule has been posted in chat. So definitely check that out. So, my lovelies, welcome.
Hello.
Well, thank you.
So when I was asked, I was reached out to specifically as a previous host for this podcast, to talk about the Valkyries and this event. Which thank you so much, RPG Limit Break, for giving us this
Thank you,
chance.
RPG Limit
We
Break.
love
Yes,
y'all.
thank you, thank
We
you.
love y'all anyways, but this is a fabulous opportunity. I was like, who could I like ask of our wonderful group? Which, let's be clear, I could have had anyone. I was like, who are the two who really were kind of behind and part of the starting of the group? And that was definitely RPG Chick, who's kind of our leader, and
Yeah.
caeshura, who is also a founding member along with myself, who has also put in a lot of work.
I I was surprised when RPG Chick reached out to me in I think it was like late summer or early autumn of like 2017, was like, "Hey, do you want to join this team, like this group I'm making, who like we're girls who speedrun?" And I'm like, "Sure, I guess." I had no idea that this is how far we were going to come, and I'm really proud and also like frequently really surprised and just shocked about how much we've done just looking back at
Mhm.
everything. Of course, every time we do anything, I'm just like, yeah, of course, we got to do this, we got to do it now, we're doing it, this is the thing. And then afterwards, we're like, yay, we did it. And then I'll look back retrospectively and be like, we did a whole big thing.
We did this
every,
whole thing.
every time, we did a whole big thing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And to explain to anyone who is unfamiliar with our group or just wants to know a bit more about us, we are the RPG Valkyries. As Kay mentioned, we formed our group in 2017. We are a group of women and femme leading RPG speedrunners specifically. Um, that's just the kind of the rules, as it were, for our core members, for our Valkyries. But anyone is welcome into our community, and unless it's a specifically themed event, we accept anyone into our events. Our Speedrun Ragnarok 2023, which is starting on Sunday, we have folks from all walks and all games. Like, we do have a RPG themed event, which we haven't had in a bit. RPGs we love,
Yeah.
but Speedrun Ragnarok happens yearly, and we fundraise for a wonderful, wonderful charity. Take This. Anyone want to talk about Take This?
I
RPG
can
chick.
feel that, yeah. So Take This is a really, really nice organization, and a couple of us became acquainted with it, myself and Scala Kitty, going to different conventions like PAX and whatnot. And
Mhm.
they essentially will run what they call AFK rooms. So for those of us, if you're like me, who get super duper overwhelmed at big conventions with big crowds, they provide you with a nice, safe, quiet space if you need somebody to talk to, if you just need to have a mental break. And so Speedrun Ragnarok has essentially been funding an AFK room for each of our marathons, which is really awesome.
Mhm.
And We hope to continue to do so. We do actually have people from Take This that participate in the marathon as well. They have a lot of mental health resources. They are just a really fantastic organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. I'm glad that we've been able, um, of course, in these recent years, it's been tough to fundraise. I think across all kinds of marathons, but the amount of money that we can raise for Take This at all is really great because they are a nonprofit organization. So any money we get for them not only funds AFK rooms, but electricity for their office, for example.
Yep.
It's really great that we can even raise any money for them at all. It's, you
Hmm.
know, we ended up landing on Take This through a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
I think all of us did a lot of research. I remember looking at like reviews of charities and everything, just trying to find like a good charity that was reputable. And
Mhm.
with Scala Kitty and uh, RPGchick knowing about Take This and having had worked with them at like PAX and stuff before, just like
Hmm.
uh, AFK rooms or just like kind of helping out as a volunteer and stuff. I think Scala had done some of that. Um, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, let's try this out and see where it goes. And then we just we've never needed to look at another uh like another charity
Yeah.
organization at all because Take This is so great. So
Yeah, they're so good. They're so passionate about like both the mental health side, and they're huge nerds. Every
yeah.
last one of them. Like every year we have a different set of them come and do interviews for us for our event, and they're just so happy. They're like, "Wait a sec, I can come on to your event for an hour and talk about any topic of my choice." And we've had folks talk about like mental health and chrono trigger and different things like that. Like the intersection is just amazing and beautiful,
Yeah.
and it just makes it so easy because again, all charity is really important and everything, but they just mesh so well with us.
Hmm.
Is They're amazing.
Yeah, no, it's great. And learning a lot from them too. Like, not only do we get to geek out and nerd with people who love video games, but I feel like we
Hmm.
learn a lot about mental health. Like, we're all really passionate, especially, here on the RPG Limit Break channel as well. You
Hmm.
know, it's everybody's really passionate about mental health and mental health awareness and everything, but
Hmm.
we always learn more from more resources. Every interview, every person we speak to, whether it be Nami or Take This, like we learn so much. And I think one of the things that, um, speaking with Take This more recently, within like the last 2 or 3 years, that I learned that I was like, oh, I'd never thought of this before was,
Hmm.
working on destigmatizing mental health by choosing different words. And I was like, huh, I'd never
Yep.
thought of that because of how dynamic language is. You just use the words that are taught to you most of the time without, thinking about it. And it was just one of those, like, I always learn a lot from speaking to Take This and listening to their interviews and like
Hmm.
everything. So it's been really wonderful to help them along their journey and be able to kind of be there with them. So it's been great.
Yeah. Absolutely. And like RPG Chick mentioned, the AFK rooms are amazing. I got a chance to actually use one in PAX Unplugged. I'm going to say 2019 because it was before the pandemic. And it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's just this room you go to and the lights are low, and they always have a mental health professional on, like a trained mental health professional on like in the room there in case you need someone to just kind of help de-escalate anything. They have quiet puzzles, just seating, and it's a quiet room. So like it's, if you're talking it's like whispers only, and it's just amazing. You just go and it's low stimulus. So you can just calm down, take a breather, have a sit down, and it's amazing. And it costs them, or it did, I don't know if this number has changed, but
Mm-hmm.
previously it has cost them 10,000 USD per AFK room. So for every $10,000 we can raise, or that anyone can raise for them, that is a whole nother event they can add an AFK room to. Or it's funds that can go into their already existing programs and, to further shore up and support things. So it's absolutely amazing. And we've always been just, it's so good, and it feels good to support the different charities like NAMI and,
Hmm.
for the mental health, but actually being able to partake in what we're fundraising for is even better. It just feels, you just be in this room and be like, I helped with this.
Let me say they also have some of the best coloring books.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah,
sounds really
that
cool.
mhm. Yeah, it's really good. Um so yeah, I think they generally go to some of the PAXs. I think they're currently at 4 events a year, but
Hmm.
they try to look for opportunities wherever they can to add AFK rooms.
Yeah, they
Uh,
they also usually will do, panels at the PAXs
Mm,
as well, so
yep.
and those are always really good.
Oh yeah.
yeah. I know we were joking with them last year about getting numbers for how much it would take them to get to PAX Australia, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And as they were talking about, like, they wouldn't even be flying themselves there. They would be coordinating with the folks on site
Who
and
live
working with
there.
mental health practitioners locally. So it would help cut down on costs that way to help make that
Yeah,
possible. So
exactly.
it would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. It's just I feel like we're really fortunate to have helped open up a lot of doors in just this yearly event. And
Mhm.
they also work with us really closely to make sure that we have everything that we need
Mhm.
to help make the event a success. They help get us prizes and stuff from
Yep.
their personal coffers, basically, and you know, hook us up with so many wonderful mental health professionals who have been on our channels in the last couple of events. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the event itself, every year we have it, we get more and more runners and volunteers, and we're so blessed. We have managed to build such a good community of wonderful people who are just like, do I have to be a woman to join? And we're like, no, not at all. Come hang,
Hmm.
come submit. Our Discord's open for everyone. And it's even though we only do events minimum of once a year, but a couple times a year, the channel is always open for folks to come and hang and, have a nerd space. And we actually have mental health resources posted in our channel as provided to us by Take This. So that's also been really useful.
Yeah, it's really nice. I feel like we are really so lucky with our community. Not only
Mhm.
um excuse me, I'm like choking on my own saliva here, getting emotional.
I spare you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, but not only do we have like such a great community, but like I just remember like the early days of our community where we really were like, "Oh, we need to specify that anybody can join the Discord. It's an open Discord. We're not going to kick you if your pronouns are not she her. Like you can
Yeah.
come in." And it was really fun kind of going through that together in those like early years, and now we have such a big community of such
Mhm.
wonderful people. It's often worrying when I'm in like a new Discord server and they're like, should we make a venting channel? And I remember we went through a big conversation about that, and it
Mhm.
actually turned out really really fine. We were all worried about like how that was going to pan out in the long run, and it turned out really fine and okay because it gave people a space to support each other, and because the community is so supportive with each other, they're, you know, more more supportive in that channel. Anyway, it's I don't know. I feel like we're really lucky to have such a good channel.
Yeah, absolutely. RPG Chick, you're also the one who reached out to me to invite me to the group. What made you think about starting this? What kind of gave you the idea to even form this group?
So, of course, we all know our beloved friends, the Moon Bros and the former Rip
Yes,
Runners, which unfortunately is not really a group anymore.
sad.
But um, the that that one time that you and I were at SGDQ together, and I met
Yeah.
Squibs and
Hmm.
Sparko there. I'm like, there are many more lady speedrunners than I thought there were. And so
Hmm.
originally this group was formed to kind of be the the female counterpart to those two male only groups.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I know there is a fairly large group of just lady speedrunners that do regular whatever, but there was nothing RPG specific. And I'm like, well, you know what? That sounds like a really good idea. And I'm starting to find people, it's like, oh, this one knows that game and that one knows that game. And of
Hmm.
course, I knew you and Draven Hart from FF4 speedrunning. So
Yeah, that's where we met through Final Fantasy IV speedrunning the Paladin Percent tournament.
But, I was pleasantly surprised
Hmm.
that for the most part, everybody I asked was all like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds like a really interesting idea," and then we were just talking about this as we were getting ready, and we did our first event that winter, the Welcome to Valhalla event to kind of introduce ourselves, and we
Yeah.
were kind of hoping we would have gotten to do something with either the Moon Bros or the Rip Runners, but no such luck.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
things change and develop as they do. And I even remember asking you, "Oh, who else is joining? Anyone else I know?" And you were like, "Raven her, you know her." And I've invited someone, caeshura. I don't know if you know her. I was like, "Okay, okay." I was like, I'm sure. We'll get to know each other." And look, now look at us
Yeah.
here with chatting, and it's amazing.
It's really fun. Of course, I was really nervous to meet the two of you when we roomed together for the first time at RPG Limit Break
Hmm.
2018. So
Yeah,
I was like, oh no, it's gonna be I'm not good with strangers.
we didn't stay strangers for long.
We did
No.
not stay strangers for long.
Uh,
And I learned Natara is in fact shorter than I am by a little bit.
Which is impressive for anyone who's met or not met either of us. Yeah, we're both shorties, but yes, I did win that competition.
Just
I'm
by a little.
just by a little. I'm not quite 5'1".
Our
I am incredibly short.
RPG chick is definitely taller than both of us.
Easily.
yeah, being
Hmm.
being being the 5'9" one was interesting, but you know what? Better for hugs. It's all
It
good.
was. It was so many hugs.
So many hugs.
Oh my god. And just going to those RPG limit breaks were because we're not an in-person event group.
Hmm.
It was a great chance to be like, "Oh, hey, let's see how many of our Valks we can get at this
Yeah,
amazing event we love."
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's one of the reasons it actually led us to starting RPGs we love,
yeah. Which I
which
believe was our first marathon.
I think so. Yeah, we
Yeah.
started it to fundraise for sending Valks to RPG Limit Break.
Hmm.
So, and it's not an event we run like that anymore, but we definitely had a lot of fun doing it, and definitely helped get more of our group to RPG Limit Break so we could volunteer and help out and run games and be nuisances,
Mostly nuisances.
mostly
No, I'm
nuisances.
joking.
Yeah, no, I'm
Or am
not.
I?
They let us in the building. They knew what was happening.
Did they though? Did they?
No, they
Did
had
they?
no idea.
No, it's it's funny because I keep every time I talk about going to an event, somehow I go back to the first time I met Poexel. Um, I don't
Who's
know how
Axel?
I don't know how this happened, but when I hugged him at I believe it was AGDQ 2017. Um, for some reason, for those of you who don't know, Poexel is a very chill guy, and he like crumpled like a leaf when I hugged him, and I was like, "Oh my god!" So there's this big joke now that like I am like a violent hugger.
To be fair, that's kind of how BGG tells me about the first time you saw him at AGDQ also, that you kind of, like, ran and tackled him.
That was different. BGG is so tall.
So tall.
I also greet Dragon Dark that way as well.
I
I definitely greet some people that way, but they know to expect that now. Oh my
Um,
gosh.
so I guess for like a little free form stuff, because we've been talking about stuff that we know.
Mhm.
What kind of things are we thinking about trying to do in the future?
Mhm. Excellent question. I'm so glad you asked. So for anyone who's not familiar with running marathons, either in person or online, the closer you get to a marathon, the more it starts to absorb your life.
Yep,
And not in a bad way, it's just priorities you just focus in. Our marathon starts on Sunday.
Sunday.
I literally was almost late to getting prepped for this because I was working on Speedrun Ragnarok thing.
Yep. I need to
Uh,
leave and work on speedrun Ragnarok things.
it's just one of those. It's fun. We love it. It's why if we didn't, we wouldn't keep doing it. But
That's
it's a
true.
little busy close to the event. Though actually, I have to say, I have more prepared this year than in previous years. I'm actually feeling like I can join a sync multi-world on Saturday, and that's weird. Day before the event, and I think I can do something social.
Hold on, I'm
I
reaching out and
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
know. My
pat
feel
pat your back. I guess I get to pat your
Yeah,
head.
yeah, yeah.
It's because my camera. Yeah. No, it's I I I really love how all of the
Mhm.
Valkyries like we come together and work together. It's we all have a habit of working really hard and picking up too many things. So we are also good at working with each other going, "Hey, I think you're picking up too many things."
What can I
And
take?
right, and this year in particular, I've seen a lot of that going
Mhm.
around cuz I've been real quiet because I'm like I for the last 2.5 or so years I'm running on negative spoons. For those of you who don't know, who maybe watch my streams and go, huh, I haven't seen or heard this person's voice in a really long time. I'm having like some arm pains that I'm going through, and like I can't do anything much at all recently. So me being adventurous and putting my own speedrun submission in was nerve-wracking because I was like, we need to have a backup game just in case my arms flare up and I think I'm going to die.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Fortunately, I'm getting better, but I was just like, with all of that going on, I'm just like, I'm really appreciative of not only Netara, who pops into my DMs to make sure that I'm on task and just check up on me, but Margie, Margaret Ann, who I believe is in chat right now, has been
Mhm.
really helpful in picking up like prizes and stuff from me because just kind of as of last year, I was just like, what is time and how do I manage myself?
How do I time? Yeah, I gotta say, one of our newer Valkyries, Lady Ariana, has also been just so amazing, putting forth,
Yes.
picking up where things need to be done and helping out. And let's be clear, like, most of our Valks are just helping and doing as much as they can, and it's so amazing. Yeah, I even
Yeah,
had,
I,
like,
I
Margaret Ann literally hit me up today being like, "Can I take this task off of you?" And I said, "Oh, honey, it's all yours." What were you gonna say, RPG chick?
oh, I was saying like last year I couldn't do anything in Natara knows how sick I
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
but
Oh,
but
so good.
y'all just threw up a great marathon and I was so proud.
Yeah.
Last year, although technically it was still this year, because we had to, just due to a lot of like scheduling things, we were like, okay, we're gonna have to do Speedrun Ragnarok 2022 in February of 2023. We're like, don't worry about it. It's still 2022. It's
It became this whole gag where we were like, have our host be like, yes, we know it's 2023. This is Ragnarok 2022. Because with everything starting to pick up and go again after the pandemic, schedules were, this event had to be delayed, which meant this event had to be delayed, which meant this event was in our slot, which meant we had to be. And it was just like we understood, and
yeah,
it's one of the things that's so amazing about so many of these speedrunning communities. We all kind of be like, okay, we're like, it's no big deal. Like, yes, we know this is a thing. What can we do to help? They
yeah,
need to move theirs. Cool. We're not going to be a problem. We're going to move ours too. We're going to,
yeah.
talk, see if this is regular, and we're just going to rearrange and make it work. And we did. And we're basically back to our regular time this year.
I
Yeah.
always feel a little bit bad for High Spirits because he usually ends up having to plan questing for glory around us.
Sorry, high spirits.
I'm
I'm
not
a little
sorry.
sorry.
Listen,
I'm
I
only a little
volunteered for that
sorry.
one too, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
being on the committee for that one, and it's like, what am I focusing on?
which event am I working on today? Uh-huh.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it's like as soon as Speedrun Ragnarok ends, basically, RPG Chick is talking about questing for glory, and we're like, good luck.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is one of
right
the
into that.
reasons why a lot of us pick up a little bit more work for, in RPG Chick's stead, just because
Hmm.
she goes over to work on questing for glory pretty much basically almost immediately when we're done.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
appreciate y'all. Don't ever think I don't, because I
Oh,
really
we know
do.
that. Yeah, and
RPG Chick does a lot of work
mhm.
on the side. RPG Chick is like the admin of all of our accounts essentially.
Run the admin, I run the finances. It's all good.
Yep.
All important
We
tasks.
need to, you know what we need to get? We need to get like an actual like accountant.
If that would be
If there's any
amazing.
speed running accountants out there,
Yeah,
give us a
but please don't speedrun our accounts. We're begging you. Yeah. Hey, I'm in Canada. I can't touch that. We don't have money in Canada. It's
You have like plastic money.
our money is both colorful and durable. Okay.
Honestly, I like your money, so
I remember holding like Canadian like paper money for the first time. I was like, why is it plastic?
It used to be actual paper, but that wasn't secure because they rip in half and things. But now it's a lot harder to rip.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can still cut it, but
I
that's
assume
illegal.
so.
Please do not do that. I am not advocating for doing anything to your currency. What you do to your currency is on you.
Oh my gosh.
you heard it here. Netara is advocating for the ripping of money.
Darn it. Ugh.
Rip your money, but don't cut it with a pair of scissors.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Please don't get me in trouble. Oh my
boy.
gosh, it's so good. Yeah, no, you don't want financial advice from Natara. I work with fake money. No, I don't. It's real good.
Natara works with Canadian Monopoly money.
Don't make me play Monopoly either. That game
You know
ends
what?
friendships.
You know what?
What?
That reminds me, is that's something
Oh
we
no.
haven't done in the Valkyries. We haven't had like a board game night.
As long as we're not playing Monopoly, we can arrange
Okay,
it.
yeah, we can play Settlers of Catan instead.
I love Settlers of Catan. Unironically, I love that game. I've played it for the first time because my local friends were like, "Wait a sec. You've never played Settlers of Catan?" This was like in my late 20s. They all grew up playing it, and I was like, "No, I've never played this game." So I'm like, I love it.
So interestingly, I never played Settlers of Catan until I was, I think, like 25 or 26, and I was in Japan in
Yeah.
the manga club of this school I was studying abroad at, and they're like, Anna-san, you want to play this game? And I'm like, what's this game? And I had to learn the rules in Japanese. It's a good game.
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
have never played that game, just so you know.
Settlers of Catan?
Yes.
Excuse me, I have to send a note to nothing at all. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Both of us are sending notes. Don't worry about it. RPG Chick, what are your kind of future goals for the Valkyries as the founding Valkyrie?
I mean, obviously, it would be just really great if we could keep heading in the same direction and
Mhm.
keep doing what we're doing. I don't know, just because of
Mhm.
IRL things, especially as some of us get a little older. um,
I'm sure I have no
What's
idea
this
what you're
older?
talking about.
I don't know what this older thing is you're talking about either.
Yeah, okay, you're the
but
youngest of us by easily 5 years. You
I
gotta
really don't
chill.
know anything about this older thing that you're talking about. I've definitely not had back pain or chronic arm pain in the last 12 months. So
Oh,
it's
chronic pain is so bad. Yeah.
but just being able to keep doing what we're doing and to
Mhm.
make the that we're making, I think is a really good goal considering everything that
Yeah.
goes on IRL for most of us.
Absolutely. I know we were also talking about kind of repurposing RPGs we love because we decided as a group we didn't want to use it for fundraising anymore. That was just getting too complicated for us as a
Yeah.
group. So, and expensive as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
we've been talking about potentially rethinking that, what do we want to do with the speedrun, RPGs only marathon? Do we want to, revive it? Do we want it to be charity? Do we want it to be just Valks? Like, what do we want to do with it? So I think that's something we want to talk about more after Speedrun Ragnarok. And yeah, we used to, when before, in the before times, before the eternal 2020,
Yep.
to occasionally have game nights and stuff on the channel, try and get our communities and
Yeah.
Oh man, I miss those days of random Jackbox games.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a new
Random
Among Us
Jackbox.
map. Among Us is back, baby.
I wanna play Among Us so bad. I was watching an Among Us stream before I came into the green room today, and
Uh-huh.
it looks fun.
Was it vanilla or modded? Because a lot of the streamers are playing modded these
I
days.
believe it was vanilla, just
Okay.
because I'm the streamer I watch. I don't think would
Okay.
mod
Fair.
it. So
Fair. Fair. I have tried the new map. It's good. Also, I'm up for any Jackbox. If anyone has it and wants to play it, we definitely need Jackbox again. Everyone loves Jackbox.
The I think one of the best times, speaking of
Yeah.
Jackbox, that we've ever had at a limit break was that first one where we did have like that huge group of us.
that
We
was
all went
so
into the room one
One
night to
fun.
hotel
play
room.
Jackbox. Yeah.
Like local Jackbox, because let me tell you, there were some of those games you think are bad, but they're not bad. They're designed to be in person, and we got to play a couple of those in person. Amazing, because you have to point at people and do. It was
Yeah.
so much fun. We had easily 7 of us because it was us
Yeah.
three, Pa, Sil. I think Demi was there too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Was Sparko there too?
I think
Scala
Sparko
was
was there.
Scala
Scala
was
was
there.
there.
Scala was there. Yeah.
Yeah, so there were at least 7 Valks in one hotel room just playing Jackbox.
We're lucky
Nah.
that the hotel didn't explode. That was 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah, that we didn't get kicked
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky. We're lucky that RPG Limit Break
Yeah, I knew
security
Sparko
didn't.
was there. Sparko was there.
Yeah, Sparko was there. I said Sparko was there. Sparko, I remembered you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I forgot you. It was all me. I'm the problem.
But yeah, we're lucky RPG Limit Break security didn't just come knocking on the hotel room door. Hey, the hotel security told us that you're really loud. We need you
Well,
to
I
just
mean, it
leave.
just would have been Wells anyway, so
I'm so
Would have been
quiet. How dare you?
it would have been Wells, and we'd be like, Wells, get in here. Oh,
Oh yeah,
Jackbox? Okay.
we'd just adopt him. We'd just be like, "Hey, you're now an official Val. Come play Jackbox." And he'd be like,
Yeah.
and then he'd throw me out again, and he'd play instead of me. And
Well, Tara.
well, Tara, yeah, exactly. I mean, half of the server right now is not Netara, so I mean, it fits.
Did I change my name back?
I don't know.
I
I've
think I
lost
did.
track of the Nataras. There's like a Nataraception happening in our server right now. It gets revived every once in a while.
It's funny.
I love it. I
It's okay
love it.
because then the Tara and I take this to like other servers.
Oh my god, I love it. That was gonna be the
so,
wrong word.
so what games have you two been playing recently?
Final Fantasy 14.
Mm-hmm. How about you,
Uh,
RPG Chick?
um, aside from pretending I'm actually practicing for my runs this week, been working on the new Rhapsodies because I would love,
Oh,
love, love, love to have speed runs for the new Rhapsody game. But not new, they're not new. Okay, but the newly released in
newly
English
released.
ones.
Okay, so because I know we got Rhapsody 1 over here, and I've seen that Rhapsody like 2 and 3 have been released. Have they been in Japan for like years?
Uh-huh, because the original Rhapsody 2, Bowie gave to me 1 year, and it's just JP
Oh,
only.
oh no. So that's really good that those came out, I'm assuming.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Oh,
It's so awesome, and they're so Rhapsody, and the
They're
songs
so
are
Rhapsody.
admittedly even better. except for,
Yeah,
of course, Evil Queen, because we all know that's the
that's
best.
the best
That
one,
was the
especially
best.
when all of the Valkyries get on a voice call together on Discord and try and sing it for stream. There was
You
definitely
know,
no lag there,
we need to
delay.
Oh,
do
it
that
has
again.
so much singing, and it's great. It's and the folks from my community know about the ice cream fiasco.
Ice cream fiasco?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Okay.
Uh,
Cool.
Jason, who's in the chat right now,
Okay.
probably has that clip somewhere. I bet he does.
Okay.
Not the ice cream, he
I want to
says.
see it.
I need to see
Yeah,
this.
I want to see this. I don't know if links are
Rhapsody,
allowed in the.
Ballad of the Little Princess.
Is that
But
2 or
yeah,
3?
I was in the middle of
That's
2.
two.
That's 2, and then I need to play. I
Oh,
need to play
nice.
3.
Yeah.
So but yeah,
Three
that's
is Rhapsody 3, Memories of a Moral Kingdom. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got like 16 party members behind you in the screenshot. Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, you could still do that, Ghoul. Ghoul is our ever wonderful restreamer, and we're so happy to have him. And
Hey,
you
Ghoul.
should do that. I have faith in you. You can totally do it. You can just cover up my face. It's fine. Just put the clip right there. So what are you playing right now, Kay?
Um, I am like over my head, like in this MMO called Palia. I don't know if any of
Palia? I've
yeah.
never heard of it. You should check out their background. That's actually from Palia.
Netara says, I on the day of like closed beta release when it was okay to finally start streaming Palia, Natara was streaming this and I was like, Natara, I didn't know you knew about this game. And Natara's like, I was an alpha tester, and I was like, I literally have been waiting for 2 years for this video game to come out because I saw concept art of one of the characters and fell in love with them, and I was like, I have to play this game no matter what it is. I have to
And
meet this
I
character.
couldn't tell anyone. We were under you know.
NDA.
And yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't allowed to talk about it unless I knew you were playing. So yeah, but I'd been playing. Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
so funny. Kay was like, "I need to play." I was like, "I haven't been playing for years. I'm sorry."
Right. So, but I've been uh playing this for basically almost 3 months soon straight. Like
Mhm.
this is my life now.
Mhm. Mhm. And excuse me, I'd like you to note that is not a deer. It is a sarnak,
This
an
is a
elder
Cernak.
sarnak to be
This is an
specific.
elder Cernak. It definitely takes at least more than one hit, and it's moonwalking because
Reasons.
reasons. That's just what they do.
Definitely. Yeah, that's not because the game is in beta.
Not because the game is in beta, but the game is in beta.
Yeah, totally
It's a good
intended
game
behavior.
though.
It is. I
Palia.
have to admit,
Check
like,
it out.
there's a lot of free to play games out there which they're fine, but
Hmm.
I'm actually shocked with how good Palia is.
It's
It's
really
so
good.
much fun.
It's really good.
I need to play it some more actually.
Honestly, if I didn't have to make a new account every time to make a new character, I'd probably attempt to speedrun some things, but
Right?
now there's an obstacle course that you can
I
speedrun.
know, I heard. You should learn about that and submit it to an event. It's an RPG.
Um sure, sure. It's I think
Mhm.
the best time now is like 2 seconds, so
2 seconds on the obstacle course? Is that because of glitches?
uh
Uh-huh.
it's unintended for sure. Is it a glitch? It's done with
Uh,
with mechanics that are intentionally put into the game, so it is intentionally unintentional.
okay. Okay. Good. Good. Not a glitch, but unintentional. Understood.
Unintentional use of intentional mechanics.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's not a glitch, it's a secret feature.
Yeah. So I have to actually segue to 14
Yes.
because Draves actually brought up a good point in chat. For anyone here who does play Final Fantasy 14, we do have a not only a free company on Aether on Cactuar for the Valkyries, which, you know, if you're part of our community, hit us up if you want a new FC. And we also have a crossworld link shell for anyone on Ether. So you can hit myself, Dravenheart, or Margaret Ann up on the game, or like ping us and be friends with us. Come hang with us. Um, I'd like to promise you I have a life, but I don't.
Final Fantasy 14 is life.
It is life. It's the best Final Fantasy I've ever played, and I grew up playing Final Fantasy. Like this is a huge, thing. I never recommend it for people to play it because it's still an MMO and it's still got a huge time commitment. But if you want an MMO and love MMOs and love Final Fantasy, it's the best Final Fantasy. Come and play with us.
Yeah, this is my life.
Yeah, that's fair. Listen, that's
See,
also
I'm not.
really
This isn't
good.
actually a screenshot. This is just me being here in real time.
Yeah, right?
I'm normal. Also, please see that I've brought Kuja with me to Palia.
Kuja is always welcome to the party.
I don't know if Kuja should be in Palia, but you know.
Listen, he's got his own tent.
Yeah,
He's like standing on something in front of the tent. It's great.
I think that's a. I think that's he's actually standing on my sound absorbing
I
panel.
love that. I love that. No,
But
no, no. He's on a box in front of your tent or
yeah,
a
I
tent.
stream exactly. Jason's correct. I stream from Palia now. It was really hard getting uh the the
The
connection set up
connection. Yeah.
legally. Um, rules in Palia are a little weird, so
Don't worry about it. You
don't
just,
worry about it. Also, from what I understand, you can speedrun Final Fantasy 14. Is that correct?
Mhm. Yes. Is it many tens of hours? Yes.
I meant like there are like specific like they're kind of like level.
Okay, yeah. So actually, in Speedrun Ragnarok, we have two different 14 things. Yeah, I know you segued. That's whatever. We have one. It's called a deep dungeon called Palace of the Dead, which is done in sections of basically 10 floors, and it has a max floor of 200. And you can do these solo, but it's incredibly difficult. And we have a speed run of 10 of those floors. Varn's doing that, who I believe is the floors in particular is 141 to 150. And what's particularly challenging about this is that if at any point during practice they mess up and die, or like during the run they mess up and die, the furthest it saves is up to 100. So that
Ooh.
means they have to get back there again. And it is not fun. They were telling me all about it last week. So it's a time. So I'm super looking forward to that run. We also have less of a speed run, a little more casual. We have a boss rush, which is where we have a whole group of 8 of us. The majority of us are Valks, and we invited some friends who are going to start with the EX bosses unsynced, starting with A Realm Reborn, which is 2.0, and going up as far as we can in just under 2 hours. And we're going to have a menu, an incentive menu where you can donate in order to change up what we're doing. You can either change kind of the rules of the fight we're doing, like someone has to turn off their tank stance, everyone has to stand and not do anything in the next mechanic, or like so and so has to like jump off the side of the arena, things like that. I don't think that's actually one. Sorry. But there's also
It
ones you
is
can
now.
set. Yeah, it is now. Not all arenas can be jumped off of. Otherwise,
You'll
it
find a
wouldn't work.
way.
Yeah, we'll find a way. I've tried. Anyways,
Spend your
I'm a
time finding a
memer.
way to jump off the arena.
Sometimes you just need to rescue a friend off the side, but it needs a side to rescue them off of. Um, and so there's also like presets, like we're going to do Final Fantasy 1 jobs for this one, so it's limited to like warrior, white mage, black mage, red mage, those sort of jobs. So
Mhm.
Margaret Ann has put a lot of work into this, and it's amazing. And so basically it's a manual crowd control, so you folks can come and wreck our days and see how far we get. So definitely are going to want to see that. Yeah,
Nice.
switch to Dragoon and Floor Tank, basically. Like there's some fun ones, Everyone has to change their role, so someone who's a tank has to become a healer, things like that. And there's some real good chances for y'all to make our lives miserable. And we're gonna laugh. There's even at least one chance to pay a lot of money and make me solo one. Or multiple if you want to pay that much money. So It's gonna be a lot of fun. So speaking of both games we like and are playing and our event, do you have any runs you're excited about for the upcoming event? Because I talked about my 14 ones.
I know we have at least somebody doing a marathon run for the first time, and I believe it's Northrex doing Ogre Battle.
Hmm.
And
Oh, and that's always fun.
I've watched him do this run a
Uh-huh.
couple of times, lurking in his chat, whether he knows it or not. But it I tend to find that a lot of people enjoy doing Ragnarok as one of their first marathons just because
Mm,
we are who we are. You know, it's a little bit more chill, it's a little bit more relaxed, and some people feel like there's
we're
a little
very
bit less
serious
pressure. Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. So, you know, if you're somebody who's newer to speedrunning or you're worried about doing your first marathon run, like I
Mhm.
think we're a pretty dang good place to do it because we are very willing to work with you, help you get things up and going. And, you know, you're always set up with a host, of course.
Yep,
So everybody has somebody with them at all times, even if you don't have any commentary.
yep.
It's really, really, really nice and chill,
And
and
it's
it's a
a
good place to be.
100% shenanigan free zone.
Totally, totally
Totally.
shenanigan free.
We do not have shenanigans in Speedrun Ragnarok.
Belts don't
Zero.
randomly hop into voice channels in the middle of runs. It's never happened.
Definitely not me.
You
I have
can't prove that.
never done that.
Or me.
Never, never in my life. Um, I advocated really hard to get a certain game on the schedule because it's a really good game and a good friend of mine is running it. So I'm glad because in the end this year I had nothing to do with like game selection beyond like me writing down I'd really like this one to get in. Um, but SO5Z is going to be running a short category of my time at Porsche.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I was really excited about that.
and it's he's been practicing really hard. He keeps getting in my
Oh,
DMs. He's like, I'm working really hard on this. So I'm like, you got this, you got
you
this.
got
So it's really sweet to see him be like, I'm trying really hard and working really hard for Ragnarok. He's like, I can't remember. Hold on, I pulled up the schedule.
oh,
He actually got like a new PB. Yeah, um his estimate is 25 minutes and he's like, I got sub 20. And I was like, whoa, dude, slow down.
no
we're
way.
gonna
This
we're
speed runs only.
serious speed runs only.
Exactly.
If
You want
you
world
if you
record or
lose
bust?
right, if you lose your run, unfortunately you're kicked out of the marathon forever. No
I've definitely never
shenanigans.
lost a run in the event.
I have I think we've mercy killed only one run ever.
Yeah, and I think it was running really over.
Yeah.
It was a Final Fantasy 1 race where
Oh yeah.
uh say, the moral of the story is friends safety saves.
There's a reason one of my biggest things in speedrunning is always advocating for that safety save. Because you
Safety
don't need, like,
save.
listen, if you're grinding for like a PB or a world record, we get it. But if you're in a marathon or some sort of event, always safety save. Because, yeah, you might lose a few seconds, but if you die or something happens, you've just lost everything.
Yeah, yeah. It was interesting.
Oh, we've come in overestimate. That's
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the really amazing things I've always been impressed about
yeah.
with our runs is that our with our runs, yeah, just with our runs, the
Just
whole
ours.
of
Yeah.
Speedrun Ragnarok is just a singular run, just so you're all aware.
That's a
But
really long VOD.
it's a really long rod. But we are usually ahead of estimate, so much so that multiple years in a row we're like, does someone have a 30-minute game you can put in so that the runner of the next run can get here? Because we're a remote marathon, like everybody's online, like so like I remember one year I'm like rushing back from work and people in Japan and people are messaging me, hey Kay, it's your hosting shift, and I'm like, I am on the train. I'll be there when I
And that's one of the things we did have to kind of learn as well about, like, just because you're ahead doesn't mean you have to. You can pad time.
can.
You can just chill with the music and hang with friends and
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if we could make a list of the things that we have learned over the course of running all of these marathons.
I've learned
Yeah.
nothing. I refuse. I refuse to learn.
Yeah.
What have you
Anyway,
learned, RPG Chick? What's something you
um,
can think off the top of your head, putting you completely on the spot? What's something you've learned from doing
uh,
these events?
that I'm really, really happy to let spirits actually do the scheduling for Questing for Glory.
Yeah. Scheduling
okay,
takes a certain skill set, and by
it
skill set I mean
does.
a certain skill set of patience.
I
Yes.
appreciate y'all that sit there and do the scheduling because I helped a couple of times at the beginning and I was like, I am just being more detrimental here than helpful. I'm gonna step out of the way.
Learning?
I
Sorry, you go ahead.
I want to throw in my one thing that I
Yeah,
learned
please.
before you steal it. Spreadsheets, because having spreadsheets to mark out like and Margie saying it in chat there to mark out things and then puzzling pieces in because oh boy, when you're working with an online marathon, you have like all of people's schedules and stuff. But on
Mhm.
top of all of that, you're looking at things and going, okay, this is prime time on Friday night. What can I put? Who is available with a game that can be, make good money for take this
Mhm.
with, incentives and stuff that we can really push for to, make Friday prime time
Uh-huh.
hype and
Yeah.
like getting those all in there, like spreadsheets. If you don't know how to spreadsheet, let me suggest that you perhaps learn how to spreadsheet. Good
Add someone to your
spreadsheets are
event who
art.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
good spreadsheets are art.
Yeah, let's be clear. We have all learned a lot about spreadsheeting from doing these events, but we've also learned who in our group is better at spreadsheets than
Yep.
us and
Yep.
such, and who have certain skills. So we know who to reach out to. It's like, we need this complicated thing. Can this be done, or can you do it? Or is this a find another way to do it task?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I find Leggy Starscream and Pidge Zero
Pidge.
One are our
Mm-hmm.
two magic makers when it comes to spreadsheets and scripts and things, and being like,
Yep.
can you make this easier for us? And they're just like, see about it and see what I can do. And they just, both of them will just come back with this magic and feeling like, sorry, it's not very good. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This
We're
is
like,
exactly what I was looking
yeah,
for.
we're like, this is exactly what I'm looking for, except it's better.
Except it's better, exactly. It's like, this is so good.
I didn't
Speaking of
ask for it to be better.
speaking of people who are just amazing at things, can we just give Tina Hacks the biggest hecking shout out on the planet for the RTMP stuff?
She is
Tina, whew,
single-handedly, and I do mean single-handedly,
single-handedly.
does all of our background tech. She gets the RTMP up and running, arranges the hosting. She sets up our Node CG, which is what we use as our background for our layouts. She gets those set up. She just does so much, and she is an incredibly busy person between her own life, her job, her streaming. So the fact she's able to give us like any time and do it so amazingly, like, she saves us every year, and she is blessed. I think if I learn anything from her any year, it's been a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yeah.
And she's so nice.
Tina's
yes.
nice.
And again, everyone
If
in
you
the
all aren't
comments.
following Tina Hacks, twitch.tv/Tina Hacks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll even
Natara,
spell it out.
what's
Yes,
something
hi.
you learned
You
straight off
don't
the top
have
of
to
your head?
do everything yourself. There are other people in the group
What?
who can do things, and you
What?
can ask them to do things, and you can just outright state that you're not going to do a thing.
What?
It's allowed. You're allowed to not do everything, and this is a
I
lesson
can do that?
I have had to learn again and again and again, and not just again and again. I've had to. I have been learning, and every year I get a little better at it. And so far, so good in this year. Some years are worse than others, but
Mm.
I'm a sort of person who I see something that needs to get done. I just want to grab it and kind of work on it and do it. But we're a team. Having a team around you is so important, and finding out what everyone in the team can do, because like, the longer we do this, the more we kind of learn each other's skills and preferences. Like, some of us love doing the schedules, some of us love doing art things, some folks love messing with spreadsheets, some folks
Some
want to
people are
be
just the bard.
Yeah, some people are just the bard, which is important too. Um, some folks want to be there the week of to put out fires. Some people want to do just prep in the weeks before. Get a group, find out what they can do, let them do it.
Yep.
Offer help if they need it, support each other, double check things, but like let people do their work. They got it. Like literally, I mentioned earlier, Margaret Ann came to me earlier today being like, "Oh, hey, is there anything I can do for this task?" And I said, "You can take the whole thing. Here you go." And she said, "Okay, cool, got it." And like I'm positive she's doing absolute magic with it.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
just
magic for
imagine
me.
Margie just be like, "Yay!" and like taking it.
I was just like, I could do this, but you'll do it with passion and well, and I'll work on something else that I will enjoy more.
Yeah.
So, and it just makes it so I can maybe, play a synced multi-world on Saturday. Like, we love this for all of us.
Yeah. I I can't wait until we have a new donation platform, but that'll come in time. I won't talk to you all. I won't give you all
Hmm.
at the great stream of RPG Limit Break my rant about. I mean, sorry, my summary of the platform we're using, but it's okay. It gets the
We're
job
not
done.
using it by choice currently, is all we'll say kindly.
It
Um,
gets the job done. Mostly.
Mostly. It takes money and gives it to charity, and we love that for it.
Yep. That's what we
We
want.
we do keep talking about and looking into and starting work on, doing using the similar platform as to things like RPG Limit Break and now
Mhm.
Power Up with Pride, GDQ, and all of those. But it's a lot of work and it's difficult
Yep.
and there's no fault on anyone who hasn't gotten any of that done. Like it is
Yeah.
so much work and our current provider is there. And yes, it's not the easiest to work with, but it's there and
We
it
make it
does
work.
function. And we're so happy everyone is very patient with us in the fact we have to use this provider. So, like, and hope every next year there's hope that that'll be the year that as a team, we're going to figure this out and make it working, and it's going to be so magical. And for
Yep.
now, we get to use the energies of our team not worrying about that
Yep.
and worrying about other things that are equally, if not more important. So
Yep.
again, that's another thing we're learning, if
Yeah.
not learned now, you can't have everything every event. Some things you just have to accept. This one thing not going to be so good this year, but that's okay. We'll focus on it and work on it later. Okay, camera, are you going to chill? Maybe? Probably not. There's no chill.
No
I'm too
chill.
I'm too excited for my camera. It's like, what are you doing, Netara? Stop moving. I can't. I speak with my hands.
XYZ service, we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this.
We exist.
We exist.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So it's really good. So we've talked about some of the runs we're excited for. Some of the things we've learned from doing these events. And the fact it's really important to have a team around you and to work with that team. Um Something to talk about is and actually I'm going to shout out another really new community right now because I'm really excited about what they're doing. So it has
Ooh.
to do with burnout, with especially with running these events, because as I mentioned earlier, like the closer you get to the event or the more you're doing with your event, the more work there is, the harder it is. And burnout is something that's incredibly common when it comes to volunteers, organizers, anyone involved with these events. And there's a community that's just opened up that is trying to address this and trying to work on different things that they can do to make this easier, like whether it being sharing resources between communities, giving advice, from like we've been doing this for like 6 or 7 years. There are people who have been doing it for longer. There are folks who
Mhm.
have been doing it for less, and there are people who have been doing it for less time who have some things better than folks who have been doing it for more time. So it's SAVE is what it stands for, is the acronym, and I'm trying to look up the exact name because here we go: Speedrunner Association for Volunteer Events, and this has just cropped up in the last month, and I believe it's being headed by Metroid Crime is one of the folks who's heading it, or is no, actually it's Critical Quartz. Critical Quartz is the one who's running it. And just Metroid Crime is also part of it, and they're both part of the Lady Arcaders. And I'm going to highly recommend anyone who's involved with events at all to join this group, because the idea of what they're doing, sharing resources, sharing advice, maybe even being like, hey, we need volunteers for this event. Can anyone here help us? It's such a good idea for an amazing way for more communities to help each other. So we can all keep putting off better and better events while getting less and less stress, which I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like at least from 2020, things have definitely not been getting less stressful in general.
It's weird how that works. I don't know what's going on. I mean, years and experience, we should be getting less stressed, but
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it
absolutely.
doesn't go that way.
yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
absolutely.
A new year,
Um,
a new year, a new day. There are new things to overcome and
Absolutely. Well, and
speed
again,
run.
that's why we should work together and help each other,
Yeah.
because, we're we're here and have experience, other folks are here and new, and we're all trying to do the same sort of thing. We're trying to use our love of video games and speedrunning to help out these different groups, which help out different people. And it's so great and wonderful. So anything that's out there and wants to help with that, I want to support.
Hmm.
So definitely that's kind of my shout out there. So we are getting near the end of our time here. Is there anything you folks want to talk about or kind of bring up before we go? While you're thinking about that, chat. If you have any questions you want to ask us, we'll give it 5-10 minutes. See what we got. Give us some questions and we'll see what we can answer for you.
I was just wondering if we shouted out like that marathon that we're doing starting on Sunday.
Speedrun Ragnarok 2023,
Yeah,
which
did
you
we
can
remember to
find.
mention that?
Right? I don't know. I don't think we did. It's happening starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m.
10
I'm gonna
a.m.
10 a.m. I know what time my
Yeah.
marathon starts. On Sunday. Get the right
Sunday,
days. Sunday, which is October 29th.
29th.
I had to do the math because I know. Anyways, we are going to be on twitch.tv/, the RPG Valkyries, all one word. We are not doing overnights. Speaking of things that make us tired and sad,
Oh my gosh,
we
that was one of the
found,
best decisions ever.
yeah, overnights were too hard to manage to get people for both volunteers and runners. Everyone was exhausted. You don't tend to raise as much money. I definitely support any event that does do overnights and can handle that, but it was definitely the best decision, both stress and everything wise, for our group to cut out overnights. So we will be going from the 29th until I believe it's the 3rd of November. It's
Yep.
from Sunday to Saturday, either way.
Yep.
And we'll be
Um,
going from morning to, basically 10ish to midnight. It
mhm.
varies
Depends on
depending
the
on the
day.
day.
Yeah. And to answer a question of what time zone, it's going to start at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Yes, that's an important question. Thankfully, before the clocks change. Okay,
Yep.
we have an important question in chat before we go to RPGchick. Yes, we can get you a link for the schedule as well. Final Fantasy 14 class, I'm a tank main. I specifically run Dark Knight. I do also have Warrior at 90, and sometimes I dabble with White and Mage, but anything I'm not willing to raid with, I don't really consider a main. So I'm a tank main. Haha. So while you folks mention the things you want to talk about, I'm going to link the schedule if no one else has.
Just as an FYI, I was one of those people that actually played the original 14 before A Realm Reborn, and then
She
I
played
played A
before
Realm.
it was cool.
I did, and then I played A Realm Reborn just after it launched, and nobody else was playing at that point that I knew, but I was a black mage main.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah,
I've
the
never played Final Fantasy
we
14.
can fix that.
Also, favorite
I'm
ice cream
stuck
is
here.
matcha ice cream with Oreo cookies.
Oh my
Gotcha.
god, that's
There's
so
a
good.
in Baskin Robbins in Japan,
That's where I had it.
which is actually they don't call it Baskin Robbins, they call it 31. So if you go to Japan and you're asking about Baskin Robbins and they're looking at you weird, call it 31. They'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's where I had that amazing concoction. I was like, "Why does this not exist
That
over
sounds
here?"
yeah,
amazing.
but
I
they
love,
have one
yeah.
called Sparkling Shower, which has got like, I believe it had popping candies in it. And anyway, that was my favorite.
That sounds amazing.
Um,
I like a
but
lot of flavors. Vanilla's kind of my favorite right now, but black sesame ice cream. Oh my god, it's very
Mm.
that
good.
stuff is so good.
Yeah, I can't do green tea flavored anything. Give me just a cup of green tea and I'll drink it happily. Give me anything that's green tea flavor. I don't know if it's the milk or the sugar, and I can have 2 sips and then I'm like, get that away from me. I don't want
Are you
it.
talking
So,
about like matcha flavored? You mean?
yeah, any matcha like latte,
Interesting.
sweets, any of it, I don't want it.
Huh.
Everyone else can take them. But
It's
if you
like the
give me like
only thing Natara and I differ on.
It's
yeah, yeah.
interesting.
You give me a cup of matcha, like a tall cup of matcha, and I'm like, give me that grass. It tastes delicious.
You mean like matcha latte?
Yeah, I hate them.
Hmm.
I don't want them. Don't give them
Interesting.
to me.
It's
Yeah.
okay. You can give them all to me.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
give them to you and I'll take something you can't eat.
I love
Yes.
matcha, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, more
Interesting.
for y'all. I'll
Yeah.
share. Okay. Let's see. Chunky Monkey, good flavor. Okay. Oh, ice cream question. We watched that clip. Yeah, we have to watch that clip from Rhapsody too. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I,
Mm-hmm.
I put it in. I put it in our private DMs, so it's
Mhm.
there
Oh,
for
okay.
you.
Oh yes, I've seen. I can't wait to watch it. Um, anyone else have anything they want to bring up other than the fact we're gonna get caeshura addicted to 14 next?
I love this insinuation that I would leave Palia when
Oh,
I've got
oh.
Gel and Palia and not in
But you've
14.
got Emmett Selk in Final Fantasy 14, who is the same character, but I mean, I gotta go. I think I just ended our
He's not
friendship.
wearing glasses, so
You sure about
he's not
that?
the same character.
You sure about that?
I've seen him at Emma. You've sent me pictures. He's not wearing glasses. He's not
We
wearing
could pick.
purple glasses, pink
Yeah,
glasses, magenta glasses. So
yeah. He could be.
Kay, Kay wants to join our FC. I'll join in spirit.
Yeah, we'll woo you with Catboys. It's fine. Uh, yeah. Well, with that, looks like there's not any further questions in chat other than, hey, if you're on Aether, hit me up. Just search for Natara. It's me. I'm Natara.
Hit them up.
For me, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm pointing that way. Oh, it actually is. Let's see. I'll say wait for it to free. Yeah, I actually am pointing towards chat. Both me and video me are pointing towards the chat. It's great. Cries and Primal. Listen, data center transfer, so we can still play together as long as you're in a North American data center. We do it all the time. Me and Leggy have to do that because she's over on XCal. So it's great. Fun times. Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming. We're going to remind you both about Speedrun Ragnarok, event run by the RPGValkyries, going from October 29th to November 4th. We'll be fundraising for Take This, trying to get them a new AFK room, though everything we can get helps. Also, more directly on the RPG Limit Break channel, which is right here where you are now. This weekend, that is from the 27th to the 29th, we will be hosting Suikothon. So if you want to catch some Suikoden speedrunning, I'm assuming it is races. Either way, if you want to check it out, it's happening here all weekend. And if you're like so many of us and have multiple monitors, you can watch both. But if not, watch Suikothon for the weekend and then come on over to twitch.tv/the TheRPGValkyries and tune in and come chill with us. With that, though, we're going to sign off. Thank you again to RPG Limit Break for having us. And we definitely have more podcasts planned on the go. And look forward to on our Twitter and in the RPG Limit Break Discord, where we will give announcements and dates for when that next one is. Thank you so much, and we will see you again later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.